Hello, hello, hola, hola amigos, amigas. Welcome to Lima again. Welcome to Lima, Peru. It is a pleasure to have you in this beautiful sunset today, Saturday, March 25th. It is a beautiful afternoon here in Lima. Hola amigos, amigas. Hello, Cari. Hola, Marilu. Hola, Adrian. Jay. Hello, Helen. Hola. Thanks for joining. Hola, hola. Hello, amigos, amigas. Hello, Carrie, Marilyn, Marilu. Hi, Connie, Janet, Doreen, Adrian. Thanks, amigos, for joining today. And thanks to all my friends that are joining in this moment. It is such a pleasure to have you here in the city of Lima for this sunset with stories of legends, ghosts, devils, demons, beasts, and all of those magical creatures of the Andes. As you can see, we are still some minutes away from sunset. And also, I've been aware of some updates our platform is doing for the questions. If you probably are going to see like some changes, such as, for example, a different type of color in the let's say in the section of the comments. If there is a question, well, that is because Hago is always listening to you and to your suggestions on how to improve our platform. So since that is going to be also easier for us to check on your comments and questions for the guys also from now on. So, well, I really hope you enjoyed today's sunset session with ghost stories and legends and all kinds of these very interesting pre-Hispanic traditions that I am recapitulating for you all. So before we begin, let me say hi to all the people joining for the first time to Hago, to our platform, or maybe to my channel. My name is Vanessa Vasquez. I am your Lima City tour guide. I've been guiding in Lima as an official licensed tour guide for over 16 years. And guiding is my passion. Guiding is basically the first love of my life, and guiding has given me lots of opportunities in my life. One of them was, for example, finding the love of my life, which is my husband, my human love of life. He's also a tour guide. And also another important thing is that it has given me also lots of friends from around the world. So these tours that I am doing here in Lima, if you get to see my channel on Hago, you're going to see that there are lots of different tours I'm doing, including historic tours. So if you would like to know more about those, please follow me. So, well, I think it is time to also turn the camera, flip the camera to the other side to begin with our session of stories, and also in company with this beautiful sunset. So let me just turn the camera, and also you can see. Oh, Cari, thank you so much, amiga. Gracias, gracias. Cari, my friend, is sharing also my channel here on Hago. Also, if you visit my channel, you're going to be able to see links to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and, well, all of my social medias. Gracias, querida. So hello to the people joining today's sunset tour. Well, this tour can be also renamed as Chasing Sunsets in Lima, because every time we go to a different spot to see sunsets, and we are in a beautiful location here in the coast of the Pacific. Lima is located in front of the Pacific. We are in the middle of the coastal territory of Peru, and Lima is in latitude between 13-12 degrees below the equator line. So we are in the last days of actually we finished summer, right? So we finished summer officially, but it feels like summer still. We are having a very unusual climate this part of the year, which probably is more like a Nino phenomenon. So the days are very, very warm here in Lima, and it's going to continue like this for probably the rest of the next season, which is the fall, and maybe winter is going to be very warm. So in the distance, you can see sunset about to happen, and we can see El Sol, the sun, descending behind the beautiful island San Lorenzo. And in this series, we talk about the legends of the ancient Peru, legends of beasts and ghosts and apparitions. And also, I am adding to our, let's say, these sessions, stories of gods of the pre-Hispanic Peru. So, oh, Carrie's commenting. We got about 6 inches of snow. Oh my gosh, Carrie! Well, I can expect that up in the north in this season can be very cold. I hope you are, comfortably warm inside your house, Carrie. We are sending from here lots of warmth from Lima. Today has been also very hot, so we have hotness enough to share with you all, amigos. We are having days that are about maybe 30 degrees Celsius in the highest peak in the day. So today we are going to talk about 5 legends from pre-Hispanic Peru. Well, some of them seems that later, at the time of the coming of the conquistadors, were sort of like absorbed by the the new coming group of people, the Spanish and their descendants, and the mestizos, which are the children of the Spanish and the indigenous. So there are many legends who were transformed in more recent times, and that are now becoming sort of like part of who, like the narrative of who we are, right? Also, before I begin with these 5 stories, I would like to tell you a little bit of where I am. We are in this moment in Magdalena district. Magdalena is located also next to the ocean. Look how pretty this zone is. We have a zone straight ahead, that where you see like lots of cars parking. We have an official zone of like takeoff and landing of parasailing with motor. Paramotor is also called. So that's why you see like lots of parasailing in this area. In this, and probably you've seen some people already flying in this section. So it happens until it gets dark here. So it's at this time, it's probably one of the most pretty moments in the day in Lima when you can do parasailing. So we're going now to talk about the legends of ancient Peru. And in today's session, I want to focus in legends from the coast of Peru. In previous sessions, we have talked about the legends of the Andes, legends of the jungle of Peru, and today we're going to talk about the coast. And well, especially here, Lima. Lima has lots of legends, but we're going also to probably from today's sunset be able to understand better, why the coast of Peru is also so rich in legends and myths. Oh, by the way, you can see here in the upper section a parasailing paramotor that is flying right in the moment of sunset. So how pretty to do this in this time of the day. So I'm talking about also the islands that we have here in front. Isn't it pretty, Carrie? So, talking about islands, I have a story that I would like to share with you about islands that are located not far away from here, from Lima. The islands that you see here in front are called San Lorenzo and the Fronton. But the islands that I am sharing now in this picture that I just posted here in the comment section, they are called islands of Pachacamac. And they are not far away from here. They are approximately 40 kilometers away from my location in this moment. And they are very famous. They are also considered very special by the believers of the ancestral religion of the Incas. We have, by the way, lots of people in Peru that are still followers or practitioners of the religion of the Incan ancestors. Hola, Terry. Thanks for coming. So, the name of this story is called Cabillaca and Cuniraya. So, in ancient times, the powerful god Kuniraya Wiracocha known as the Lord of the earth and the agriculture, was the god of the preparation of the agricultural processes. So all the indigenous, before starting the cultivation, they worship the god Kuniraya. So, but Kuniraya was a very shy god. And this is something really interesting about our ancestral gods and deities, because they, as the Roman gods, for example, they have very human characteristics that are very typical of us humans, right? So Kuniraya seems that he was a very shy god. And the story that I'm sharing today says that Kuniraya fell in love of a beautiful goddess, a waka, called Kabiyaka. Kabiyaka was a very powerful princess, and she really didn't want to have any relation with men. She was sort of like a wild free spirit, right? So although many wakas, male wakas, waka is a Quechua word we use for gods, right? Many male wakas wanted to persuade her of being with them. She preferred to stay just away from men. So well, the god Kuniraya wanted her to be his. So one of the things he did to persuade her to accept him, but because he was very shy, of course, he couldn't talk directly to her. He transformed into a hummingbird, because this God had the power of transforming, switching his body into anything he wanted. So he transformed into a hummingbird, and he flied in direction to her was when she was resting under a tree. Actually, one of the legends says that she was sort of like weaving below a tree. She was sort of like resting, having, a relaxing time. So he, as a bird, flied over her, and well, he saw a beautiful fruit, a lucumo fruit on top of her. It seems that the tree was a tree of lucumo. So he inserted into this ripe, beautiful lucumo fruit his semen. And well, he just fly away, and then the fruit dropped down to the floor, and she ate it, and she got pregnant. So of course, that's the way how it happens here in Peru. So she got pregnant, but she had no idea who was the father of her child. So the time passed, 9 months exactly. And well, she really wanted to know who was the father, and she started to, plan, how to get to know, the real dad of her baby. So she waited a little bit longer until the baby could walk. The baby started to walk, and she organized a party. And well, in this party, she called all the wakas, of the kingdom. And one by one, these wakas, came to her house, and she approached to each one with her baby first in her arms, like showing them, the face of the baby, and expecting that one of them will say, "Oh yes, this is my baby." But everybody said, "Oh no, I don't know that baby. I don't know that baby." And then later, well, the god Kuniraya came. And Kuniraya, well, he was shy, and so he dressed up as a poor man. What a silly god, right? He appeared as a poor man, dressed up with rag clothes, like very dirty. So and he just, got in, but because he looked like that, the princess didn't want to get close to him. She didn't want to, ask him, because she believed that vagabond would never be the father of her son. So well, she passed over him, and well, nobody accepted. The baby was theirs. So at the end of the party, she asked everybody to come in front of her, and she talked to her baby, and she whispered in his eye, "Go to your father." So the baby started to walk, like timidly, little by little, and then he saw the poor man that was in one corner, and the baby walked in direction to the poor man, and hugged the poor man. And the princess, Kawiyaka, was so ashamed. You can imagine how shy, how ashamed she was, because this was a very poor man. So she took the baby and ran away from there. So the god realized his big mistake, and he started to talk to her, call her, scream out loud, princess, look at me, I am the almighty Kuniraya. And he started to take off his clothes, he started to show his gold, his silver, but she didn't want it to turn her eyes, right? So she was just crying, and she decided to suicide. So the story says that when she reached the ocean, she turned into the islands, with her baby, the islands that nowadays we call islands of Pachacamac. So this is how these islands emerge. So this is the sad story of these gods, and a god that was extremely shy, as you probably have seen. Many in Latin America are not really that shy, by the way. It was something that like happened to this god, which is also still considered a very, very powerful deity here in Peru. What part of Peru is this location? Patrick, thanks for the question. I'm also checking that now the questions are highlighted in a beautiful light blue color. So, gracias, Patrick. This location, Pachacamac, is not far away from Lima. Pachacamac is about 40 kilometers away from where I am in this moment. It's an archaeological site, but also the islands in front of the archaeological site are called Pachacamac as well. So that place is really pretty. And I have also an upcoming event in which I'm going to take you in person there, like virtually, of course, virtually in person there to that site. So I hope you enjoy that. So please follow me to join that place. There is another story I want to share with you. Gracias, Patrick. Thanks for your question, by the way. And it's about witches. So everybody loves stories of witches, of course. And in Peru, we really had witches, like in the way that the sense of the word we know after the coming of the conquistadors. Because, the conquistadors were the ones who introduced this negative idea about, women that were healers. No, there were doctors that used medicine to cure not just physically, also to cure, like spiritually. So this story is called The Witches of Cachiche. And Cachiche is located in the south coast, in the department of Ica. Is one of the districts of Ica, and it is a really interesting place where still nowadays is practiced magic, like black magic and white magic. So I have a question also of Patrick. Thanks for your questions, Patrick. Is this close to the Temple of the Moon and Temple of the Sun? Yes, Patrick. Do you know Pachacamac? I think you know the site, right? So Temple of the Sun is an archaeological place within the complex of Pachacamac, and that temple looks to the islands. So the witches of Cachiche, right, are really like a sort of like a tradition that still exists nowadays, but there were witches that are considered more powerful than others in that region. So Cachiche is a place of witchcraft and magic until nowadays, and the name Cachiche comes from the word Quechua, Cachiche, which means salty land. In Peru, by the way, we speak many languages besides Spanish. They are all considered official languages, and the most spoken language after Spanish is Quechua. Oh, good to know, Patrick, that you've been here in 2006. I'm so happy that you are back to Lima virtually in this occasion. So the witch of Cachiche, that was the most popular, the most famous one and powerful of all, is known as the name or after the name of Doctora Corazon. So something like Doctor Love or Doctor of Love. So she was very, very powerful and an expert in white magic, so magic for curing, for healing, but also black magic. She was very, very powerful. Of course, she died many years ago, but she is famous for curing many people. Famous people of that region of Ica. One of them was a famous politician called Don Fernando de León de Vivero, and the story says that this man went to the witch when he was very young. He was taken by his family. He was probably 14, 15 years old, and he was stubborn. He couldn't, speak clearly. Probably he had like all the type of like problems. Like it was just like being stubborn. I think stubborn is that okay that you cannot speak like a sort of like a, no, stubborn is not the word. Sorry. But when you are a person that cannot speak like without like repeating the same word. So please help me, guys, if you know the of course you know the name in English. So stutter. Okay, thank you, Marilyn. Much stuttering. Yes, yes, Jay. Thank you. So that was the problem he had. We say in Spanish tartamudo. So it has no connection with that word. So he was tartamudo. So well, he was taken by his family to her, and he was cured. And very important for him also to be cured of that problem because he was later a politician, right? So speaking is the most important thing politicians, like the tool of politicians is speaking. So, well, he was cured, and as a way to thank to the witch, after he became very famous, he decided to build a monument for her. Let me show you the monument that he paid to the Doctora Corazon, the Doctor Love, of Doctor of Love. You can also see the image. Click in the comments. So, well, the story says that this witch also predicted the future. Like she was very accurate predicting the future. And one of the things that happened many, many years ago in Ica was a flooding. Ica is like Lima, close to the ocean, and is affected usually by heavy rains when we have El Nino phenomena in the coast. Like we've been having rain just minutes ago, like just a little drizzle, but it's very unusual to have rains in this season. So the story says that she predicted that Ica, the city where she lived back then, will be flooded like really badly. And there is a very interesting story related with a tree. Let me show you the tree, and let me know what you think about this tree. What tree is this one, guys? Please give a click to the picture that I'm sharing in the comment section. What tree do you think is this one? And it's, by the way, it hasn't been modified. The tree is, that's the way the tree it is. Yes, Diane, yes, it's a palm tree. Well, it's not just one. Are 7 palm trees. So Cachiche has this very peculiar tree that is called the Palmera de las Siete Cabezas, the palm tree of the 7 heads. So the story of the tree is very old. The story says that, like long time ago, long time ago, in the time after the coming of the conquistadors, so we're talking about the conquest period, right? So the conquistadors still, like back then, lots of treasures from Incan temples, right? And well, they were trying to take a treasure, a coffin with treasures, of Incan treasures, golden, that was Incan, into a ship, but an octopus took the box, took this sort of like chest of treasures and kill all of these conquistadors, and the this octopus kept the treasure with him. So one witch, long time ago, we're talking about before the Doctora Corazon, no, the famous witch of Cachiche. We're talking about another witch. One witch wanted to possess the chest with treasures, so she fought the octopus, right? And she was able to cut 6 tentacles of the octopus, which had 7 tentacles. We all know that octopuses have 8, but well, this one had 7. So she was able to cut 6 of the tentacles of the octopus, and well, the last tentacle killed her, right? So the octopus also died and turned into the tree. So there must be some type of, coffin of treasures there, but nobody tries to take it or to, find it, because that tree is cursed. That tree that you just seen is cursed. So the Dr. Hart, Doctora Corazon, she predicted that the day when the seventh palm tree, the seventh head of this tree emerged, right? Because it was like growing little by little, but there was a timid seventh head that was not growing. When that one will grow, a big flood will destroy Ica, the town of Ica. And well, it happens that some people believe in the story, some people didn't believe in the story, but there was a terrible Nino phenomenon that happened in 1998 that actually, by coincidence, happened when the seventh head of the palm emerged. So if you give a click to the picture I just shared, you are going to see that there is, a big tree, like we have the seven, trees, but in reality, there are just six. And there's a seventh that is cut off, is mutilated. And that is because people here believe that if the seventh head of the tree grows, there will be another catastrophe. So that's why people keep cutting the seventh tree, the seven heads of that tree, monstrous tree. So that's what you see there. So, well, people there, have the duty of keeping this tree mutilated all the time, right? There is also another story here that I want to share with you, and it is called the story of the Gentiles. Gentiles, and we are going to also share a picture of what are the gentiles. So by the way, amigos, are you receiving the images good? Are you hearing me correctly? How is everything? How is the tour? Everything okay? Oh, good to know. Gracias, Cari. Gracias, Marilu querida. Gracias, Doreen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you are enjoying, gracias, Janet, enjoying these stories. Some of them are very creepy stories. So, Los Gentiles. What is the story of Los Gentiles? So before the era of men, our era, we are the era of the men. There was another era in which very strange creatures lived here in planet Earth, in this world. And those entities were called the Gentiles, also known as the Chulpas. So the oral tradition says that although these gentiles look like humans, oh, gracias, Cari, gracias, gracias, they look like humans. They couldn't stand the sun. Actually, they were not prepared to live in lightness. They were sort of like entities of the darkness, right? So when the sun was about to come out, to become, like this very important entity that gives life to our humanity, and the entities of our time, when they realized that the sun will come out, they were very afraid of the power of the sun because they were not used to that much lightness, light. So they decided to prepare. So they started to create caves or sort of like a little houses, that will be in complete darkness, right? Like the ones I am sharing with you. And they somehow they believe that the sun will come out, from the west. They had the information that the sun will come out from the west. So they put all their houses looking to the west, right? Because in that way they believe they would be able to just turn their backs all the time to the sun, right? But the sun, knowing this, changed its mind and decided to, come out from the other side. Uh, in that way, when the sun came out, all of the gentiles died. All of them, like, well, like the vampires, right? They died immediately. They were burned by the sun. So, but the gentiles still inhabit this world. They coexist with us, but in the form of spirits, of sort of like spirit entities, right? Elderly people, especially in the Andes of Peru, believe that the gentiles come out or sort of like materialize when there are eclipses. So in the eclipse, they appear, right? And they start screaming. And they say, "Our time will return. Our time will return." Because they are waiting for that time when the sun will vanish, will go away, right? The gentiles are sort of like short people, right? Which sometimes they like to present, materialize into sort of like humans, and present or take sort of like forms that are familiar to people who are lonely, right? For example, someone that has been abandoned by their loved one, spouse, for example, boyfriend, girlfriend, that are in deep, deep sadness. The gentiles get to send that. They feel that. So what they do is they materialize in the shape of that person. They reappear and they know details of your life that that only that person that is the one you love know. So very private aspects of the life of both the gentiles get to know, and they use this to seduce people until they are able to sleep with that person. And that is the moment when they um, sort of like throw some type of spell, I think you will call it in English, some type of a spell, and which we call chulpada, right? So someone is chulpada when it's spelled by a gentil, right? So most of the times, people who are very sick from being spelled by a gentil, they really die. They get to die. Sort of like they don't eat. They get very sick. They start like not moving, going out of the bed, and then they die. So in the Andes, it is believed that the only way to break that spell, that can also be taken to the afterlife, is going, if someone believes that a gentil has taken the spirit of the person you love, your daughter, your son, a relative, they have to go to the tombs, the nearby tombs, to check if in any of those tombs there are clothes or elements personal of the person that passed away, which for them means that the spirit has taken those. Oh, sorry, I just want to show you this very, very pretty. This is a paramotor. So this is how we sail the skies of Lima at nighttime. How fun, right? So, well, basically, that's the way how we know, we discover if these spirits have or try to take that other person, that they sort of like they wanted to possess, with them. So that's the only way to break the spell, right? With, of course, a shaman that will do some magical practices and will, break that connection. So here I have another story which is related with the picture I am sharing in this moment with you all. Okay, so that picture you are seeing here, there, is of a stone. You can see the stone in one corner of the picture. That stone is called, in Spanish, piedra horadada. La piedra horadada. So to my friends that practice Spanish with me in my Spanish, say like a practices on Hegel, probably know already that piedra is a stone, right? Horadada means hollow, so a stone with a hole. So let me show you an image of the stone. This is a modern picture. So the other one is a very old picture from the beginnings of the 20th century. And the second picture is a picture of nowadays of that stone. So the stone hasn't been carved. Like it has always been like that. There are no recordings, information, registers of a time in which that stone was not there in that position. Like at least during the time of the conquistadors, it has always been there, like since the Spanish presence here. So La Piedra Horadada, or the hollowed stone, is a rock that is located in Lima, in a district called Barrios Altos. It's one of the oldest districts of Lima. But the neighbors, oh, thanks for following. Thank you, Emma. Gracias. Thanks for the follow to the channel. So the neighbors of that location, they respect very much the stone because they believe that that stone was carved by the devil. Gracias, Amanda. Thanks for the follow. So was carved by the very Diablo, the devil, the demonio, right? So Peruvians are very religious people. I think the religiosity we have in Peru, it really is more connected with our pre-Hispanic traditions. Because we were in the pre-Hispanic times worshippers of the sun and the moon, and then the Catholic religion came and it just sort of like overlap with that other religion existed. It's not that one disappeared; they fusion, they mixed. So, well, the story says that's a very interesting story about the stone. So the story says that in one occasion in that zone, long time ago, in the colonial times, there was a procession of the Santissimo. The Santissimo is the image of the crucifix of Jesus Christ. And processions are very common here in Peru till nowadays. Also, there was a procession. Oh, I have a question from Jeanette. Thanks for your question, my dear. We have small stones called backstones or hackstones. We use them for good luck. Oh, really, Jeanette? Oh, that's very beautiful. Well, we also have a very special type of stones here in Peru. Sometimes, for example, like quartz types or amethyst. Sometimes stones that are naturally pigmented that are considered to be very special, or they have special like characteristics. And also, we know that the pre-Hispanic people, they used to worship stones that were naturally shaped like strange. Like sometimes you go to having you seen like in the beach sometimes stones that are like look like the shape of hearts, for example. Like they have been not carved by humans. That's the way how they've been. So those stones were called huacas also. Huacas. A huaca is a word we give in Quechua language to, could be a temple, could be a person that was like a sort of like a priest or a medium that has some powerful like a supernatural powers. And also a huaca could be a stone that was shaped by the gods. Okay, so where is that have good luck backstones? Trenda, where is this stone? You mean where is the stone? It's in Lima, in downtown Lima. This stone that I will share it again, just in case if you were not able to see before. So this stone, which is quite big, is located in downtown Lima. It is in one street, like next to the road, and nobody has dared to move the stone, although it's in the middle of the street. Look at this picture again. So it's right in the middle of the street. So well, I remember I was telling you the story. No, so there was a procession, and like the image of the Holy Cross was taken in the streets. You can see the very street there in the picture where that image was taken. People were like in big devotion following the image, and the devil The devil was walking as always in the streets of Lima. Oh, Doreen, thanks for your tip support. Muchas gracias, amiga. Thank you. So was walking the streets of Lima, like looking for troubles, looking for making feel people, angry or fighting. And in that moment, the devil saw that procession in the distance and got panic. Like, the devil is always afraid of the presence, the image of God. So, but he tried to escape, but also on the other side behind him, there was another procession coming. He was between two processions, one of the Virgin Mary and one of the cross of Jesus. So he had no escape. He had no escape. So, well, in his desperation, he turned on one side and he saw this big stone. And he just got inside the stone, and he made a hole, and he got out on the other street, across the street, and escaped fast from there, right? So the story, of course, says that the very devil hollowed the stone, and there is where he got, underground, right, and was able to escape from the holy images of Virgin Mary and Jesus, right? So this is a stone that still exists nowadays. By the way, it's very famous. And finally, last but not least, we are going back in the time of the pre-Hispanic era. But look at how beautiful this color of the sky. Oh, yes, Carrie, I love it also. The stone, I hope one day to be able to take you in person there. The stone is really interesting. We have to go to see it. But the color of the sky is this pink lilac. Is precious. I really love more the after sunset than the before sunset time. Uh, the story that I want to share with you is called the story of Nailam. Nailamp is one of the most important gods of the north coast of Peru. And according to the legend, Nailamp, or Prince Nailamp, emerged from the sea in a caballito de totora, which is that sort of like boat that you see in the image I'm sharing with you. It is a totora reed boat. And he was accompanied with lots of people. He took his subjects, his followers, in direction to better lands, because it seems that the land where he was escaping from, he was the leader in, was having a big problem. Like there were drowns. Like it was a bad time for them, so they escaped in direction to better lands, to more fertile lands, and to settle a new town. So, well, everybody followed Nailam because they really trusted in this prince, and Nailam was touched by the gods, in particular the god moon and the god sea, the ocean, right? So, well, he took with him also his wife and concubines, his most important, like militaries, and leaders that co-rule with him, and hundreds, if not thousands of people following him in the sea. Also, you can imagine Nailamp in the distance, like navigating, sailing the Totora reeds, thousands and thousands of people looking for a better land. But he was not able to find a good place for weeks and weeks, or where to go and settle. Also, at some point, he got very, very worried, and he started to call the moon, and he said, "Moon, moon, friend Luna, amiga Luna, right? You promised me a generous land. I have followed you along with my people, but you have abandoned us." So, well, the moon got very sad for him. And she answered back. And she said, come down, Nailam. Raise your eyes, keep going. You are going to find the land soon. So, well, he continued. Of course, he believed in the words of his friend the moon. So he kept going, kept going. But nothing happened. Weeks passed, and no changes. So he started to seem desperate, because everybody started to lose, like the patience and the trust in him. So well, he started to talk to the ocean, to the sea, and he said, sea, amigo, dear ocean, help me, I need to get to the promised land. So the sea, the ocean said to Nailam, come down, Nailam. Raise your eyes, and you will see the land you seek for so long. It is there in front of you. So Nailam was able finally to see the promised land, and everybody got very, very happy. The moon and the sea took them to a new location. That location exists nowadays. It is Lambayeque in the north coast of Peru. Everybody with great enthusiasm, descended from their caballito de totora, their reed boats, and as they were people of the sea, they took shells from the sea, they grounded them, and they spread in the floor these seeds, grounded to create a route, a way for Nailamp, for him to walk over these shells. So he was worshipped as a living God. And it was a great time of prosperity for the people there, including the people that they found in that place, because there was another community living there, but that community was not as advanced as Nailam's community, so they taught them the ways. So, well, at the end, Nailamp, of course, when he was very aged, he died and he transformed into a bird, and he flied away from that location to never be seen again. So that is the story of Night Lamp. I really hope you enjoy these stories, amigos. This is a compilation I made for you all, of some of the most famous legends of Peru. And this is a compilation that also has taken me to explore different legends of the coast, the Andes, the jungle. And if you wish to learn more about these legends, or maybe see or read the past, all the legends I have shared before, I am sharing with you the link of my ebook. I am writing an ebook of legends and stories about gods, devils, and beasts of ancient Peru. This is a free book. It's for you all. It is such a pleasure to be able to share this with you all. And also, well, I really hope you were able to enjoy these stories. I really love compile all of this for you all, and hope that you can also share this with your friends. Share this. Oh, this is my husband. He's going away. Hola, Marek. So, with your friends, with anyone that is interested in legends, in traditions, in stories, and also to understand better who Peruvians are. So, gracias, Marilyn. Oh, thanks for your tip support. Thank you so much to all my friends who were able to support with a tip. As you know, we are not paid by Hago. We are paid by your generosity. Your tip support helps not just tour guides, also helps Hago to continue being a free platform. I really love to collaborate and cooperate with Hago, with my tours, because in that way we can make more people around the world aware of Peru. For example, in my case, in my home location, Lima, Peru, the capital of Peru, I am able to create awareness of what we have here in this part of the world. I think tour guides, we have this duty everywhere around the world. You possibly already have seen that a commitment guides have on Hago. Doesn't matter where we are always sharing and like trying to bring people to our destinations. But also, we know not everybody is able to travel in person in this time for many reasons. So it doesn't matter what is the reason you are not able to make it in person. Here you have a virtual, let's say, alternative for getting to feel also the country, the cities, and well, we tour guides are very happy of being part of that. So if you also wish to support my channel in a more like a profound way, you can also become my sponsor. And the sponsorship program is a way well, Hego has created for people to support their favorite guides, or guides that you believe their content is, something you feel connected with. For example, in my case, my tours are about history. I love history. I am a sort of like a amateur researcher. Although I am a tour guide, I love to research, and to share, because I could research for me, but I think that's nonsense. I research for you all as well. So that's why I'm also doing a YouTube channel where you can see all of my previous events there. So please give it a look to my YouTube channel. The link to my channel is on my Hego channel. So well, if you wish to support the creation of more content like this one, you can probably consider becoming my sponsor. And the sponsorship program is also a way for Hego to continue existing as a free platform too, because all the tips and the sponsorship program is also, there's a percentage share with Hego. So well, thanks a lot for that. Sorry for this minutes taken to explain this, but probably some of you are not aware of this sponsorship program, which is something I really really value. And I have also here many beautiful sponsors who well, they are the ones who are helping me to create these events, and they are good friends of mine now. So thanks for believing in my project also, which is also a project, a personal project. Every guy has their own personal projects in Hego. We are not having just one same pathway. We are finding our own pathways. And in my case, everything is about history, researching, and this is also thanks to you. So well, thanks a lot, amigos. Mwah. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Please come to my Spanish lessons if you want to practice Spanish. On Monday, I have a tour from home about the history of the endemic dogs of Peru. If you want to know about the history of the endemic dogs of Peru, I've done a long investigation about the endemic species that are, many of them are gone, disappeared. Some of them still exist. So we're going to talk about them. You are all invited. You all are invited. So please come to my event, and also there are more events coming. Gracias, Trenda. Thank you. Gracias, Cari. This is my Hego channel. If you wish to click for later, gracias, Lisa. Gracias. And thanks to my friends who have shared the channel. So I promise you're going to have lots of fun with me. Muchas gracias. Besitos, kisses, and see you very soon. Ciao, ciao. Gracias. Bye bye. Thank you. Have a lovely weekend.